Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I'm saying it's been a while, but it hasn't been a while for them.
Well, that's true. We
been a while for
we
us.
batch recorded a bunch of stuff, and we haven't posted anything new
Right.
to us in a while. But you had no idea.
So go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you in a second.
Yes, we will.
Live from Washington, D.C., you are listening to Just John and April on the Lance J Radio Network.
Between you and me, this is nothing. There's no tricks. Ooh, there's love.
Welcome to Just John and April,
This is
the
nothing.
relationship podcast, your place to level up your intimacy.
Yeah.
Lance J Radio Network. We are excited to be back again, and we're happy to be here in the studio.
For the last time.
It's probably going to be the last time.
I think so.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to try to do a live this week if we can actually pull it
Yeah.
off. And if we
We'll
are
see.
doing that, then we will be in here again. But as you can see, if you're watching
Yeah.
online, the studio is altered. There's no uplighting behind us. The pictures are gone. It is
Everything's
pretty.
gone, guys.
Yeah.
We are moving,
You believe that?
changing locations
Yeah, it's crazy.
in the same area.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere for real. And this is
Yeah.
different for us because normally when we move, it is related to a job change or something like that. And so we're usually going to a different city or
Mm-hmm.
a different state or something like that. Usually it's a different state, not just a different city.
Yeah, it's been a different state every time.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
So this time we have voluntarily decided to sell our house and wondering now what we were thinking. Just kidding. No, we're glad we did it.
No, glad it's happening, but it happened so fast.
It really did. And
And
this
it's
is our
like,
last week
oh,
here, really, where we're in the
wow.
house. We're just trying to pack everything up and get it gone.
And we really
you know.
haven't packed anything, honestly.
Well, we packed some stuff that's in the garage, but it's like 1/17 of what we own.
That's what I'm saying. That was just to
Doesn't
get
count.
stuff out the way
Exactly,
so people
so
can
we
see the
can
house.
stage,
It
exactly.
wasn't really
That doesn't really
packing.
count. You're right. Yeah.
So, and we got to be done by Friday.
Right. So what that means
So-
is, so we're recording right now. This is Sunday, and we're going to be out by Friday. So that means that everything you see from now until, I don't know, maybe the next few weeks, because we're going to be relocating and setting up a little makeshift something where we can actually do the show. And we'll be doing that from there. But
We don't
between
know how
now
we're
and
going to be
then-
looking, y'all. We
Yeah,
don't know.
We don't.
We don't know.
You'll see. Anyway.
But we want you to stick with us in the
Yeah, thanks for
process.
rocking with us.
Yeah,
See what I'm
you're
saying?
rocking with us even when we are bare,
Exactly.
you know?
I feel naked in
I
here.
know, right?
Not that kind of naked, but...
There's nothing.
Okay, so here's my question, because before we really get into the topic, I want to know, I know that stuff like this can bring stress because they say moving is like
do.
one of the top 5 things to do that's stressful.
Yeah, getting married, getting a new job, having kids,
Yeah.
and moving.
Moving's one of
Is
the big
one of
ones. I don't
those
know where it
big
is in
ones.
that list, but
It's the top 5.
it's definitely the top 5. I don't know if it's like number
Definitely.
2 or
Yeah.
whatever, but whatever it is. So my question is, how are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed out at all? How are you feeling about this whole thing?
So the reason why I'm a little bit like, ooh, is because I'm not stressed.
Okay.
So I'm like, shouldn't I be stressed right now? Should I
Right.
be? But I guess, I don't know. I feel different about this. I don't think I really am ever stressed in our moves. I don't think that I am because usually we're being moved by your job.
The job is
and
doing everything.
So
Yeah,
I don't have
they
to worry about
pack us.
money
Right.
or anything like that.
Right.
But this time I thought that I would. That's what I'm like, you know. But I
Maybe
have
it'll come.
decided, you know, Lord, you got this. Like,
Right.
seriously. I mean, I'm always like, Lord, you got this.
Well,
But
clearly.
seriously.
And sometimes you're just like, I'm stressed out too.
Right, like
Right.
both. But this
Right.
time I said, no, you should not be stressed.
Yeah.
So God, you got this, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just following what He has already, you know, worked out.
So
I
I-
think that's where I am right now, because I don't want to be worried and
Yeah,
stressed.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, really, like when it said that, what does that do for you? You know, when people say that,
It
like, what
does
does that do
nothing.
for you?
It
It does nothing.
for you. Yeah.
So
Well, it makes you feel worse, usually. Is
It
what
does, and you
Yeah.
can't sleep. You can't, you know, it's just not good.
Right. So I actually am feeling similar to you, just because of the way this whole thing is unfolded. It feels like God has been orchestrating some things, and because of that, it makes me feel more secure about what we're doing.
Right.
But I have felt some stress. Like I have felt, and maybe it's because the deadline is here and we got to do a certain thing by the deadline. And this isn't the first deadline we've had. We've had several deadlines so far after putting the house up for sale that has made it so that I have felt, maybe stress is not the right word, but a little heat, like okay, the fire is right behind us, it's about to come if we don't get this done. And so that kind of thing has created something, a little dis-ease. Maybe that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's affected us. In fact, that's what we're really talking about. we're really going to be talking about that.
Yeah, and
today.
I was gonna say that I think there are times when your body, like your physical body, has a reaction to something that is happening, and you can't even control it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like your mind and your body is different.
Right,
Like
right.
even though it works together, there are times when your body works on its own.
So you're trying to not be stressed,
Yeah,
but then
your
your body
mind
is like
is
having
like-
stress responses.
Right, your
Yeah.
mind is like, I'm good.
Right,
Like,
right.
God, you got this. I'm
Right,
like,
right,
but then
right.
your body's like, nah. you stayed up all night doing this, that, and the other.
Right.
And your body makes you feel like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this is a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I think that is a natural thing that happens.
Right.
And we have been feeling that.
We have. So let's talk about what we're on here to talk about today.
Yeah, let's do that.
So basically, what has been happening to us over the last few weeks is that we have been struggling to not like get into little quibbles and arguments and tiffs here and there. It's been more and more lately, and I think it has to do with all the
It
other
does.
things that are going on. So you
It
normally have the
does.
regular things that happen in your life with work and stuff like that, but this I think adds an extra layer, and it's created I think a different situation where now up until a couple of days ago when we kind of ironed some stuff out, I felt like we were kind of having a hard time there. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, like it didn't get to that point,
Right.
but it was getting there.
Definitely.
And so it was like, okay, we need to get this checked before it gets to the point where it's like,
right.
I don't even want to be around you.
Right. Because I definitely was feeling like, okay, maybe we should just, be like, okay, you go over there, I'm going over here. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
thinking that too. I was like, you know what? Maybe we've been together too
Yeah.
much. Maybe this is what it is.
Because sometimes during the summertime, when we go from having our routine to now
Yes.
being together all the time, there
There
is a little bit of a adjustment.
Yes, but this is late in that.
Correct.
This is late. That should have happened
summer's
early
almost over.
on.
Right. It
Yeah,
never
it's
happened.
almost time for me
Right.
to go back to work.
Right. So this is
Which
not that.
It's hard for me to say that.
Right. Yeah, no, you
Anyway,
shouldn't
it's
be
already
saying that.
almost time for me to go back.
Right. You shouldn't be saying that.
So it wouldn't be happening at this point, but
Right.
it did. And I think
Right.
it is because of all this stuff.
Yes.
I do.
I agree.
But so I'm gonna tell y'all, I was like, okay, this is not something that we need to be. And I guess I would say maybe a 2-week span. Would you
Yes.
say?
Yes.
That we were kind of getting in these little things, and I was like, and a lot of stuff we were ignoring. Like it would happen. We're like, whatever. Like
'Cause
we
you have
didn't
so many
wanna
things
be-
going on. We can't
so
deal
many
with that
things- we
right
can't
now.
deal with it right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to be arguing, so you
Right.
just kind of say, we'll talk about that later.
Right.
And you never talk about it because life and
Right.
stuff is happening.
Right.
So it kind of continued, and then I just was like, you know what? How about we try something different, babe? We have our ways and the things that we do, but we needed something to me that we could do right then quick. We couldn't schedule it like we normally do.
Right. So
Right?
some of y'all that follow us know we do this thing called Pass the Mic. It's like where basically if you've been having trouble dealing with a particular issue and this is something that recurs, maybe this is like your recurring argument that you guys have once or twice, 3 times a year, or maybe this is something that you just haven't been able to resolve over the last however long, you may do what we call Pass the Mic, which is basically like an active listening session. You schedule
your
it, you sit
rules,
down,
you
and
have your things
So there's
that
a
you
whole
follow,
thing.
right?
In
It's
fact,
a
we got a whole
procedure.
video on it. We can maybe put. I don't know how you do that, but anyway, put it in the thing, so you can watch it.
Put it in the thing.
Yeah.
Or you just go
I'll
find
put it somewhere,
pass
or you
the
can
mic.
just find it. You know
Oh
what I'm
wow!
saying? Whatever.
Because
But
you
anyway,
say that and then you don't put it in the thing. And,
I'll put it. I'll put it in the thing.
Okay, so
So we need something different.
normally
What
we do
Abel's
that. So
saying.
we need something
Yeah,
different, something
yeah.
quicker.
Right.
So I said, hey, how about we just talk to each other about how we feel, right? And let's just have in our minds, you know what? I'm gonna just listen, and I'm not gonna get defensive.
So April actually said to me, she
I
said,
said-
"Can we have a conversation without us getting defensive?" She didn't say without you getting defensive. She said
Yes,
without
us, because I
getting
know
defensive.
I
We were
get
both doing
defensive
that.
too.
Right.
I get defensive too.
So I was just like, okay, let's do it.
And so I felt like asking it that way.
What day was that, by the way? Because we were sitting in the family room and the TV was on. We had just made some food. You were on one couch. I was across the room, not across the room.
No, that was later. We had done it before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that was the second one.
That was the second one. That was a continuation.
It was a continuation.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was just like, hey, why don't we just talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's not get, loud or defensive or, let's just listen and just take it in as what it is, not I'm against you or, just what it is. And it went really well. I thought so too. I felt like you really listened to me.
I felt like you were listening to me too.
And it was like, okay, and I mean, while you were talking though, it was hard not to, I wanted sometimes to say, no, I didn't. No, that's not what I did.
I wanted to rebut as well.
I wanted to rebut.
Right.
I wanted to rebooty, but I didn't do that. Okay. I didn't do that. So I felt like restraining myself from doing that actually helped me to listen and helped me to realize, you know what? Maybe you do that.
Right.
Or even if you don't think you do, the fact that he thinks you're doing that or he doesn't like that you do that, maybe that should be enough. And that's really the thing. It really should be enough that you don't feel good when I do that particular thing.
Whether you were trying to do that or
Whether
not.
I was trying to do it or
Right.
not. And I
Yeah.
think what it is defensiveness because I'm trying to defend myself and I'm trying to say to you, I really didn't mean to do that. That's
Right.
not what I
Right.
meant.
Right.
And so I'm pushing that rather than listening to you and saying, man, I don't want you to feel that way.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if we kind of change our listening to what it makes the person feel like rather than what they're blaming us, rather than what they're accusing us of, I think that things would be solved a lot faster.
I agree. So here's the other thing for me personally that happened in that situation that I thought was helpful. There was a way that you and actually I thought you did this better than you normally even do, even when we do pass the mics and stuff. you like this is gonna sound funny, but you like relaxed your face muscles. There's a look that you get when you feel like I'm attacking you, and maybe that was good because I wasn't attacking you.
Yeah.
I was just kind of telling you how I felt about a particular thing, and I wasn't blaming you. I was just kind of saying how I felt about it. Maybe that's why. But the way that you responded with your face was important, and it always is whenever we're going back and forth like that. When you go. Or you know what I'm saying? Then I start being like, okay. And then I say, all right, forget it. I don't even want to talk. And now it's a big thing.
Right.
But we didn't do that this time. And I felt like that was huge. And I don't know if that ever matters as much as it did this time because we had been going back and forth at each other so much. We couldn't get through like 2 sentences without it being a big thing. and I was talking and I was saying something that I thought you were going to have a problem with, but you didn't show it on your face. I was like, oh, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
She's actually listening.
Right.
And then when I said what I needed to say, that whatever it was I got to, it was like, okay, she actually was listening to that as opposed to the way it was before. So
you know what that
then.
says?
You know what I'm saying?
You know the what is it? What's the percentage of?
They say that basically 7% of what you communicate is verbal.
Right.
The rest of it's nonverbal.
Exactly.
The rest of it's nonverbal. It's like
so it's 93%
correct.
is nonverbal.
Yes. And I don't know how accurate that is. I just know
no, that's very
it's definitely
accurate.
way more
Listen, that's
nonverbal
very
than
accurate.
verbal.
And the reason why it showed right there because you're
Yeah.
right. When you don't have the facial expressions, you're not using hand gestures that are, in your face or whatever.
Right.
That actually calms things down
Yes.
enough for me to listen to you.
Right.
I'm telling you, I think that couples could actually solve their problems a lot more if they would just come at it with I need to put away my defense.
Yes.
I don't need to protect myself right now.
Right. Yes.
I just need to listen to the feelings of the other.
Yes.
And, see their side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
with
saying? If we did that more, I think we'd have less conflict in relationships.
I agree wholeheartedly. Okay, so when we come back from the break, there's one more thing I want to ask you because I want to know what part you think stress may have played in this situation. Like, what was the reason why this situation really worked, and then why were we at each other's throats in the first place? So when we come back, we'll talk about that. Okay.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Paragon 7 Studios.
Lance J Radio Network. Back from the break. And got some news.
Yeah.
There's certain people in Hollywood that we like and we continue to gravitate towards for whatever reason. I don't know why. We like J-Lo and we talk about her a lot of the
we
show.
like J-Lo.
Yeah.
I feel like if I met her, we'd be really good friends.
I think so too. I
We
think
would.
you'd be
We would
girls.
be good friends.
You know what I'm saying? So J-Lo, come hang out with April sometime.
you know,
what I'm saying?
that'd be my girl. But I was really excited actually that J-Lo and Benifer, that they was Benifer again.
Right. Oh,
know?
me too. They've been Benifer for a while now,
Yeah, they have. But
They got engaged and stuff and all that stuff. And then we actually talked about it on the show that they got engaged and that they were putting the wedding off for a long time. We actually did a thing on long weddings, I think.
no, long engagement.
Long
Not long
engagements.
weddings.
Sorry, you're right.
I don't know how long.
It was definitely long engagements. You're right. Sorry. Anyway, so we did something on them already. And now we find out
Right.
today that,
They got married.
yes.
Yeah.
So apparently they had a wedding in Vegas.
Yes.
And they called it a surprise wedding, which I think you're supposed to call eloping. Whatever. And so now they're married. Jen and Ben are married officially. They're
Jennifer,
hitched.
for real.
They're for real, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're cute.
I have a question. I have a couple questions, really. So my first question is, remember part of the thing we talked about the last time we talked about them was that we wondered, at least I wondered, whether or not you thought Jennifer maybe had some PTSD because the last time they had this long engagement and never got married. And then, of course, this time they had an engagement and Ben was talking about getting married in 2024 or something. I don't remember what it was. And so it was like, oh, my goodness, is it going to happen again? And so here they are getting married. I wonder, do you think this happened because she was like, yo, bro, let's do this. Why are we waiting? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but if it is, and it's true. It's like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, what is
We're
this?
40.
Yeah,
Something. Well, actually, she's
40?
50.
You didn't say 40.
My bad. I was talking about us.
She looks 40.
She does.
She
Like,
does.
she looks 38.
She looks 30. She looks 30.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
She's
She
like
looks
50,
great.
right?
Yeah. I think she had
49,
50,
something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's 50 now.
Yeah.
Is she?
I don't know.
She's almost 50
Right.
or 50.
Whatever it is.
But all I know is she looks like she's 30.
Right.
So you saying 40, she would be happy about that probably.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, like, what are you waiting on?
Right.
What are you waiting for?
Right. I agree.
Like, if you know this is the one that you need,
Yes.
that you're going to be with,
Right.
then go ahead and do that thing.
Right.
Like, why are
Right.
you waiting?
I agree.
So, I'm happy for them.
I am too.
I actually hope, this is what I hope for them.
Yes.
I hope that they're on that list. You know how you get that list of celebrities who have been together, and they have all the, they always have Denzel on there. They always have, Beyonce and them on there.
They have Tom Hanks on there.
They always have, yes. They always
People
got
like that
the
been on for a
same,
long time.
because they,
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many more to
Yes,
name, but I
right.
can't remember. But anyway, I would hope that they can get to that mark where their names are on there.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Because
all the best to you, Jennifer.
Yeah, and really, what happened? The reason why they didn't, though, they talk about the stress. It was too much
The reason why they didn't go through with a regular wedding.
in the beginning, long time ago,
Okay.
was because of. It was too much media and people, about their wedding. It was just too much stress. I
Everybody's
think that
involved in
came
it.
into
Yeah.
their relationship and it just took over.
Yeah.
So
I actually,
that's
honestly,
probably why they did it quick.
I actually am
Not
a
a big
fan
deal.
of that sometimes, to be honest with you, for that very reason. Sometimes when you involve a lot of people,
It takes away from your nice experience together.
it just adds drama.
Right.
And if you
Stress.
know that's going to happen, y'all go ahead and do that thing and don't worry about bringing everybody else in
Exactly.
it. And to me, it could be a lot less stressful and probably more exciting and a better situation.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You can do whatever you want to do. Have to worry about nobody saying nothing.
Exactly.
At the wedding and all that.
Well, anyway, so happy for them. Okay, so here's my question. I teased it before we went to break. I really want to know what part you think. I said already that I was dealing with stress, definitely with this whole thing that was going on. I think stress played a part in what was going on with us as we were beefing back and forth with each other. I really want to know, exactly what part do you think stress plays? Like, in a situation like this with us, do you think we had so we definitely had unresolved stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
That was the stuff we were basically arguing
Right.
about over the
Old
last couple
stuff,
weeks.
y'all. Old stuff.
Unresolved issues. Do you think that the stress brought out, kind of exacerbated the unresolved stuff? Or do you think the stress kind of created the conflict? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in general, do you think
Yeah.
the stress Exacerbate or does
I
it
do.
create?
I think it exacerbates.
Okay, so you
I
don't think
do.
it creates, and you don't think in this situation it created anything.
No.
You just think it exacerbated
No.
what was already there.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because I feel like, there were things that I had already been building up, that was already building up.
Yeah.
I should have talked about it before, but I just felt like I never could find the right time. When you're going and you're doing and doing, when you going to stop and be talking about that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's what really you should. You
Right.
should stop and
Right.
talk.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't build up. So, no, you should do that.
Yes. Yes.
And we know you should do that, but
Right.
sometimes, even though we know things, we still end up doing things we shouldn't do, right?
Yes.
So I let some things build up, and I think the stress of all these other things that were going on, when those things happened again, it was like, worse in the way that they affected me. And so I think, and same for you,
Right.
I would say.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that.
I think it exacerbates, definitely.
So
I don't think it creates. I mean, I guess it could, but I don't think it would be as big because it hasn't built. You know what I mean? Things that happen in marriage, really. Things that happened over and over again
Yeah.
is what irritates the other one.
Right. That's
Not
true.
the one thing that happened.
Right.
You can get over that one thing.
Correct.
But when it happens again and again and again, and you've said it before, you've
Right.
mentioned, you say
Right.
you don't like it, you
Right.
show you don't like it.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But then you still do it,
Right.
it's going to be worse.
So that's what I think happened to us in this situation, definitely. And I don't know about in general, but in this particular situation,
Yes.
I felt as though the stress exacerbated some things. And I would say it just like you said it, which is the stuff we were dealing with. I felt when we started explaining to each other what we were going through, it was basically me, at least on my end, it was me assuming that what you just said meant what it meant 14 years ago when you did that exact same thing, or 7 years ago, you did that, or 3 months ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and so I automatically assumed I knew where you were going with this, and it made me upset. And you were like, "Why are you going from 0 to 60 already?" And I haven't even done anything. I'm just starting. I'm like, well, that reminded me of this, and I thought you were going there. And
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt like it might not have been that bad had I not been stressed out already. Had I been
Right.
in a calmer state, I think what happened probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it actually was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So I just
agree.
feel like in this situation, stress exacerbated. Though I can see stress creating problems, it just didn't happen this time. If the stress is big enough.
I can, and let's say this because I don't think that I'm stressed right now.
Right, you said that.
But I will say that there is maybe stress put on the relationship right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like stress is on our family. Like something can be stressing,
Yes.
but not necessarily stressing you out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you know what I'm saying?
You're saying you
like
can
there's
be in
a
a
strain, I'd say, on the family
Yes,
right now,
right.
only because we are being uprooted. We're
Yes.
uprooting our
Yes.
lives right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Okay?
And whether you're aware of it or
mean,
not, something's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we just sold our children's whole bedroom suits, and now
Right,
they're
both of
sleeping
them.
on a mattress on the floor.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes. I did that today, by the way.
today, he just sold everything, right?
And-
sold
and
the
the-
dining room.
and the dining room set.
Just and have more things to sell. Just selling it all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I can. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So that
Yes.
can be stress on the family,
Right.
But not actually stressing people out,
Right.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
So
I see what
that
you're saying.
alone
Yeah.
can, I think, could cause some things that you're not even ready for because in your mind you're not stressed.
Right.
So I think we
Right.
were kind of surprised,
Right.
because we weren't stressed out.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there's one more thing before we get to our word of the day that I think we need to tell our audience when it comes to stuff like this. Because my personal feeling is when it really comes down to it, there's nothing that you cannot overcome in your relationship if the two of you are really serious about overcoming it.
It's true.
So here's I'll just ask it in the form of a question, and I want to know, what do you think made this particular thing work? How did this work? How did we get it to where we're at each other's throats for 2 weeks straight, and then all of a sudden, now we were able to resolve something that we haven't been able to resolve? What do you think was the key ingredient? I have my theory.
have yours?
Yes. What do you
Okay.
think it is?
I would say that both parties wanted to resolve.
Yes.
And so we were both willing to put aside our defensive tendencies in order to listen, and we were both willing to apologize. You know what I'm saying? For what we did wrong
Yes.
to the other. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So I think the fact that we were both like 100% willing.
And I don't know how that happened.
And so
But I think I know how it happened.
Okay, how did it happen? Like what do you think?
Because I agree with you.
Because I always say it takes two. Like they always say it takes two
Right.
to tango or whatever. Isn't that right?
To the tango.
Tango,
Yes,
right.
yes. That's true.
And you talk about that with arguing, like it takes two, all that, but it takes two to resolve it. Like you cannot do it by yourself.
That's
You
true.
can't. It's impossible.
So-
unless you just ignore and you let the person treat however they want to treat, and you
Yes.
just live with it.
Yes.
Okay. But who wants to do that?
Right.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I like having fun with you. I like being around you. I should put it a different way. I like liking being around you.
You don't like not
I
like.
don't like not liking being around you, babe.
Oh,
I'm saying-
my
I'm-
goodness.
so what happened
I don't like
was-
not liking being around you either.
Right,
That's a good. I don't
and
like
neither
that.
one. And let's
I didn't want
let's
to be
keep it
around you
buck,
for a couple. I
okay?
did not want.
We didn't want to be around each
I
other.
didn't.
And I'm saying that's unusual for us.
Yes,
right?
it is.
So
Not every day was like
right,
that, but it was some moments. Where
right,
I was like,
right. Okay, I
you see
agree
what I'm
with that.
saying?
I
It
agree
was
with
just some
that.
moments where I was like, and I
So-
would walk away and go to my own
right.
little space.
And what was
That's
happening?
right.
What was happening was at least once every day for consecutive days, there was a point at which each one of us was thinking to ourselves, "Let me get away from this person." You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to me, that
That's
was the
true.
biggest motivation for me.
That's
It was
true.
like I don't like
not
not
liking,
liking being around you.
Yes.
I want to, you know,
Yes.
and so when you said, "Hey, can we have a conversation without us being as defensive?" The way you said it, I was like, "Yes, we can." Because what I heard you say was, "I want
wanna
to
be
like
friends.
you again."
I want to be friends.
Can we go back to the way things were? We actually like being around each
Can
other.
we be friends, please?
Yes, and so that for me was why I think this worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. If
So that's
my
actually
opinion.
another topic we could talk about because
agree.
that would be do you care about your friendship?
Right.
Because
some people might not care.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
To the point
That's true.
where they'd rather be away.
Right.
So they're not trying to put away the defensiveness in order.
Sometimes you're right.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, that leads us to our word of the day.
Yes, I like the word of the day.
I usually do too. It's a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a good one.
I think it goes to what we really were, like what happened.
Yes.
And your
This is
original
it.
question did this, in my opinion, to both of us. So the word of the day is what?
Disarm.
Disarm.
Disarm. And it means to make harmless.
Right.
So really you have to disarm yourself.
I think of it as like, disarming a bomb. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The joint's about to go off. You have like
And
20
you
seconds.
disarm
And somebody goes in.
it. Oh
And now
my
everything is fine. Like, oh,
goodness.
whoo,
Yes,
okay. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Your question
yes.
that you asked me about whether or not we can have that conversation, that disarmed me. Mm-hmm. And now I wasn't defensive. I wasn't worried
And,
about, what I'm saying?
I think something like, hey babe, I really want to be friends.
Right.
Can we
Yeah.
That's disarming.
It is.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yes.
just certain things I think we can say with, like you said, the calm face.
Yes. Yeah, you relax your face muscles.
Since
That helps, you know what I'm saying?
93% is
Yes.
nonverbal.
Exactly.
We could do some nonverbal things with our requests.
Yes.
That show, hey, I'm really not trying to fight you.
Exactly.
I really want this to work. I'm going to disarm myself, and I'm going to do that with my facial expression.
Yes. And
I'm
sometimes
saying,
we
hey,
need to
babe.
just disarm our spouse by saying, I'm going to listen now instead of rebutting everything they say. You know what I'm saying? Just try to disarm the situation, and that will make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Take off the helmet
armor?
and the armor and all that. Always trying to defend.
Put the guns away.
Put the
You know
guns
what I'm
away.
saying? Yeah.
Put it
Yeah.
all away.
Right.
Put your hands up and just say, hey, you know what? Let me just listen.
I'm glad we're friends again, babe.
Me too. I need my BFF to be all right.
I like
now.
being around
I
you
can't. We like to have fun together.
It's true.
So it's not good when we're not good. So
Yeah. Well, we can get off right now and have some fun. All right, y'all.
look,
We'll
I
see.
told John I can't do this show when we're not on good terms. So
It was good we were off. You know what I'm saying?
no,
That helped.
seriously,
They didn't
I
have to see
told
none of that. You know
I
what I'm
told him, I said, we have to make sure our relationship is right, because I can't get on here and do stuff. If I'm on here, we good.
Right.
Because I can't get on here. My body, my creative juices, I'd have attitude. So
And you already know how that is. Anyway, see y'all next time.
bye guys.